Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes, trying to make common sense.
Burn live, y'all. Burn live. Burning through conversation, trying to ash out some common sense. Welcome to today's show. Welcome to the weekend or weekday. I'm gonna be so confused. I gotta stop being confused. I gotta stay better on my damn days. I really do, cause I'll be so lost. What's today? Saturday. Yeah, welcome to the weekend. I was right. Help me out sometime, CEO. Sheesh. No,
You were right. It's the weekend.
my schedule is busy, 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 busy. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we're gonna go through some hopefully common sense things that we consider common sense, discuss them, talk about them, and you give me your inputs of what you guys think about what's going on. And I don't know. Everybody be like, United States of America is so super divided, and is either this and this is going to be the beginning of a civil war, and this is it's just one break away, one edge away, one, I don't know, one assassin away from just the most corrupted thing happening in Americans history in a very very long time. um Everybody has their opinions about it. Everybody wants to say they was there. I was just talking to a friend off behind the scenes about the next candidates for the Democratic Party president running election, who I think should be, just because I want to see a blockbuster debate. Me personally, I just I just want to see a classic, good laughing debate go down. I'm gonna take it serious, but yeah, hey, people that seen his last few debates, y'all know how debates can go, especially when you know what's involved, what's going on, a little background about people and how people take shots at people. Also in news, you just got team breakouts, people just causing corruption all over the places, old cases coming back. I mean, America just looks like America looks like the 90s right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Only thing we don't have exploding is just gang banging and overzealous of drug violence, which I guess that's still going on too. It's just in another form. I say all of that to say this. We only have 2 years to, I'm going to consider one of the most important elections coming up in the next generations to forecome history coming up. The Trump mega lifestyle should, might be over with. Nobody can always point at the finger. Trump can't be in office. He be out. All that'll be put to the side. America could be, I guess, on a healing um, way. Hope healing wave, healing cruise, healing street, whatever phrase you want to pick. Okay. When are we going to actually decide to actually look at ourselves and look at local and look at our neighborhoods and actually want change there? I know a lot of people watching be like, hey, my neighborhood is nice, my neighborhood is good. I just keep the ruckus out of my neighborhood. Understandable. I get it. Makes sense. But in 2 more years, all this rah 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 is gonna be over with. And I'm just want to know what people's future plans and what people's future are gonna look like after the mega train is over with.
My bad.
Bless you.
Thank you. You think the Megatron's going to be over next 2 years?
After the 2 years, I hope it dies down. Like it's not a big deal. Like okay, it was here. It once was a thing. Um, is Trump probably gonna make money off of like mega stuff after that? Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna be like it shouldn't be a major headline because yet again, it's not a political attribute.
Maybe. Sure. Yeah.
You, my question to you would be like, after 2 years, you think Trump can still endorse somebody? You think they'll win?
Hmm. I don't know. Yo, what's going on? Uh, I don't know what to think about upcoming elections. It all heavily depends on who's running and uh, how much people are gonna let certain things happen within the country, right? Uh, I'll say this like big talks from like I guess Democrats. On the Democrat side, there's a lot of talks of how midterms will go. Uh, Midterms for a lot of people, uh, like me myself included, we feel that it's going to be a blowout for the Democrats. A lot of seats are going to be taken for Democrats to where we'll get a majority in the Senate, Congress, stuff like that, right?
Okay.
But there is the fear of uh, election interference. Because there's been a lot of talks from this administration of sending what ICE to voting polls and stuff like that. There's the voting act stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on where they're preparing for midterms essentially, right? Uh, Districts are being redrawn everywhere, right? Both Democrat and Republican. Um, it just doesn't feel like we're gonna have, or just not just for Democrats. And I'm not saying that Democrats are gonna have their election stolen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's a lot where it's becoming less fair for democracy, the voting stuff to actually take place. Uh, and that trend, I hope, doesn't continue. I know that California, they redrew their districts in response to Trump pressuring Texas to redraw their districts, but I am personally still not happy that like fight dirty against someone that's fighting dirty. I get it, but I don't like it. I don't like that standard being set. Could be fine in the present, but in the
But you know,
future, it's not
the
good.
Northeast has no representations.
Northeast,
Yeah,
so like Maine and New
or is it
York.
Northwest? It's Northeast, Northwest. One of the Northern has no like. It's like bare minimum representation of the Republican Party at all.
I feel that. I don't get me wrong. I don't like gerrymandering. I think that we need to do something about the
So
current electoral college system.
in the gerrymandering states, do you think it's okay for a state to say that I'm going specifically to gerrymander my state off of race based causes?
You're referring to the act that was recently overturned, right?
I'm preferring to what Virginia, more
Yeah.
like California, more what they kind of insinuated in their campaigning of the reasons of why they did this.
So okay, I'll answer that. To start off with my answer for that, though, I have to say I don't think that it's the biggest deal in the world that it was overturned, right? I
Right.
don't care that it was overturned, but I do think that it was silly that it was overturned because the basis of why it was a thing in the first place is if we're drawing districts and then lumping them in with majority white places, it gives because certain races vote different than other certain races, right?
Right.
So when you're a minority population and they're drawing districts to where uh, they're drawing districts to where you can't vote in something that say the black community wants in, right? You
Right.
get lumped in with a bunch of white people and it's all white representation in that state. If
Right.
you have it gerrymandered in a way to where you have all the black people being represented in their voting blocks and they get their elected representative and they also get and white people will have their elected representative, and that's why it was there in the first place. But me personally, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world.
Okay. So I'm glad you said you don't believe it's the biggest deal in the world. By saying representation on places like, the Senate, the White House seats, districts, and stuff like that. In these districts, in these places that claim to have these claims, if they are poor and they're deluded and they're not looking good, what is the problem with trying something different? Because obviously, what was happening in the first place wasn't working.
Maybe, maybe I can agree.
Mississippi, Louisiana, some of these little places have very high crime, and yet again, high crime, we can blame it on whoever. I'm not saying blame it on nobody. I'm just saying it's a thing, and why don't we fix it?
Thank you for pointing out the obvious drugs.
Yeah, I did. I thought, people, that is true, but black people vote how they feel, how they want to feel, I guess. And you know what I'm saying? My thing is when it's being represented, I think voting and representing is actually two different spectrums. You really have to just look at that differently. You may not want to, you may not say that's cool, but you really have to look at, because when I look at representation, I think about a culture. Like, what do I want in my neighborhood? What I want around me? What do I want in my community to help my community grow? You know what I'm saying? But what I vote for are policies and things that I want to put in place that help my community grow.
Okay.
I think that, to me, that seems to be the difference to me. If it's not to you, I get it. I think it should be the difference, but it's here, near, or there.
Yeah. I think it's still the same thing though. Black people usually want different things than white people, and not having a representative that will.
Can can you elaborate on that right there? What do you what do you think is so separate that I want that you want in a neighborhood to represent us?
Hmm. Good question.
Mm.
uh, I don't know, Johnny. He was bringing up some things that are probably different than what white people would
Hey,
vote
I
for.
wish he would. I wish he would pop up so bad because I really would like to know, like, what do you want that's not in your neighborhood that a white person be like, I want that, because I hear a lot of this thing called, oh, white people do what black people do. They want everything that black people want. Black people start this, then black people want it. So it kind of sounds like, people be wanting different things, um, that sound like the same to me. You know, what works for you, if it works good for you, hey, how about we want to try it over here? That's more like what I be saying. I could be wrong.
Who's dog calling an albino? Me or him?
I don't know.
I don't know what he meant by that.
But if you got a good firefighter truck in your neighborhood, Mr. White Man, I'm black. I want a good I want a good firefighter truck in my neighborhood too.
That makes sense, but I think it has a lot to do with Senate seats and what they could push for in the government stage, and giving certain parties more leverage, maybe.
Or does it or does it sound like people want to get under the influence of, hey, guess what? White people a long, long time ago did something very wrong to my ancestors, and they ain't got no reparations, no money, no what you call it. Nowadays, you can't tell a black person shit on the internet. They can do whatever they want, millions of dollars, millions of views, whatever. So guess what? Now we feel like we need people in places to represent so we can get a little payback and start punishing white folks for what they did to our ancestors, even though these new age white folks today don't know shit about what happened back then.
You you think that black people are trying to punish white people?
Huh? Huh? Huh?
You think black people are trying to punish white
Boy,
people?
stop. If we had a chance to put a legislated law into place right now for any N word that a white person say on a dime, they have to pay some type of fine. Boy, stop playing. It'd be like that. I would probably get beat up right now for not even standing in line to sign up for
Maybe.
it. Maybe, but yet again, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like what I hear when I hear stuff like that, and I'm like, well, I get it. Things were wrong. Things were wasn't put in right. But you want representation. Okay, cool. Let's go back to what's our population of United States of America?
Hold on, I'm looking something up.
Like 13%, 18%, 18 to 13%. I'ma say it like that. 'Cause I don't know the number figures out on. But 18 to 13% doesn't sound like a big percentage of United States of America. So I think we need to be quiet for we have only 13% representation in the White House for real. Then you really gonna feel some type of way.
Come on, can I just see a graph? I'm trying to look up percentage of race populations that vote because I'm under the impression that black people by per capita vote far less than other populations.
Ooh, hey, that is if that ain't the truth.
Because I here, let's see. Well, that's by age. I know that old people vote way more. Ooh, let me see by race. Come on. Give me my racist charts.
Man, these new charts don't want to do that. You know why them charts shouldn't be out there? Cause them charts, I think them charts are what segregates whites and blacks. This is why it's so
Okay.
easy to have arguments like that because these charts are out there.
Yeah, but well, I think my point regardless was going to be invalid. Over 50% of black people vote in elections, and over 57% of white people vote in elections, and the population of people that vote the least are like Hispanics, Arabs, Asians.
Okay,
But
yet again, that's nice that we only 50% voting of our population, but 50% of 18% is what?
15% of no, by per capita.
Okay,
So
by per.
15. Oh, I see what you mean. So not a lot of black people are voting in the United States.
Thank you.
But that's why people say it's important for them to have their representation in, say, their state, you know.
Oh, okay. So,
So if you have a state with like 15 Senate seats or something, right? And you give them two districts, they make up 13% of the population. They have about their representation in their state. 15 Senate seats, 13% of the population, two black districts. Oh shit, it's Johnny. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on?
We were just talking about you.
Hey, man, I just saw you guys on. I was just scrolling on YouTube and I was like, "Oh, bro, oh they are." Like, all right, since I
Oh,
gotta talk to you later.
yeah, we were talking hella shit about you, man.
Dang, why? Oh, man.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know I
Amen.
wouldn't do that about you.
so
I
my
appreciate
question,
that, Jay.
my question to you, Johnny, to not to really jump you in, but to
You
jump you
good?
into the conversation is representation. And I want to ask you, what do you want in your neighborhood that a white person don't want in their neighborhood?
Man, that is a question I have never thought of. I've never thought of a question like that.
I don't want to do a close up because I don't want y'all to see the tears in my eyes of laughing so hard.
I
I had
mean,
a hard time answering that question also, but I'm
I
also not black, so
I listen.
Reverse the question.
was something that white people want that you
Black,
don't.
yeah, in your
Uh,
neighborhood.
maybe like their Confederate statues being held in public parks or something. Like I'm thinking as a down south white person, and there's a statue of like
Abraham, like,
Harvey Lee,
okay, okay.
and me as a southern white person, which I'm not a southern white person. Maybe I'm like I want to protect the statue because this is
Okay,
part of my history, and then black people are like,
okay,
this is kind of
can
offensive. I don't want
So you're
this.
okay,
thinking about like patriarchs and stuff. They probably
okay.
want different
So let me ask
patriarchs
you
in
a
their
quick
community.
question, then I want y'all to follow up. Do we understand that government didn't have people in slavery? It was the people in the South that actually had people in slavery.
Yeah.
No, I'm not too familiar with that. I got, but I don't. You can't enlighten me though.
Well, wait, hold on. George Washington had slaves.
He had personal slaves. Yes. The government did not have slaves.
Is that because of the formation of the government, like how it was formed, how it was starting out, or you know, does that play a
Because
role?
because um maybe because the government, the people up east in New York City,
They
did
had
not,
slaves in New York. They had slaves in Buffalo. Buffalo
sir,
was a plantation,
sir.
and in the Bronx, I believe.
More eastern, northern states did not believe in slavery.
They had slaves in Buffalo,
Well,
bro. Buffalo was a slave plantation,
Okay.
throughout later
and
on in
some of the
history.
Bronx.
Yet again, majority
Okay, majority. You could say that. Okay,
of the
I give you
eastern
that.
northern states did not believe in slavery.
I give you that.
If we look at the Underground Railroad from Harriet Tubman, it went east. It didn't go south. Okay. So when you look at that, and let's go back to the question. So, in your neighborhood, sir, what would you like that those good old white folks shouldn't have in their neighborhood? Like, you see
I
how I switched that up? You see how I switched that up on them? See how I switched that up on them? What do you want in your neighborhood that them good old white folks should not have in their neighborhoods?
I, I personally am gonna answer the question on the flip. I don't think there's nothing that they got that I wouldn't want in my neighborhoods. And that's just peace and access to resources, easy access to resources. You know, I would say some white people got it worse because some of the gas prices is way more in their neighborhoods than other ones. You know what I mean? So, you
So
know,
it sounds like to me, I don't mean to cut you off. I do apologize. Sound like to me that gerrymandering these states, trying something different, may not be a bad act, may not be a bad idea, may actually get some representation and some things done. Might. 20%, 30% chance. We ain't gonna give it 50 because that'll be racist. I don't know how, but I just thought I'd say that. It sounded good in my head. But anyway, Huh? No? Maybe?
I think it's I think it's the means of the representation, right? Like I guess you wouldn't want somebody that's not living where you live representing who you are, you know. So I guess it's a means of that.
Is it a means of this person that was living with me and went to go represent me was actually comfortable of this living habit and didn't change nothing for 20
Mhm.
years? Okay. I'm
Or
grown. Hold on. I'm
uh,
grown. I got kids. It's still the same neighborhood. Why can't we expect change or want something a little different?
right, but we got to understand, you know, how many where we're coming from throughout these generations, right? It's not like we're not 100 years past segregation or discrimination. We're not even 100 years into that, you know. So it's not like something that's
You
like,
better go. You better go do your math over.
yeah, we talk about 1960s, 70s, yeah, nowhere near yet. Um,
60s. What? Wait. See, now we got to stop. Now we got to have an understanding. What was
but
in what was in the 60s?
that's when segregation was, was starting to, die. I wouldn't say die down, but starting to be abolished.
Well, you say 1960s, huh?
Yeah. If I'm wrong,
So
forgive me. But I'm thinking it was, I think, segregation and the whole Ruby Bridges, who is still alive, what happened with her, um, that was in the 60s.
all those other fights and in 1921 that we talked about with the building of the cities of the black people, that don't count for nothing either. We just got to go.
Redlining.
We jump all the way to 1960s.
No, that don't count because we're talking about a place where African Americans, quote unquote, and I'm twitching my fingers, felt safe in America.
So we're not 100 years removed from shit like segregation and Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We're not 100 years removed from that point in time.
No.
Yeah, no, we're not 100 years from Malcolm X to try to insinuate Muslimism into America. No, we're not
Yeah.
100 years away from that. And
Oh, hold on. I
I
didn't
don't
say I liked Malcolm
appreciate
X.
and I don't appreciate that part of history, part of Black history, like that's some big woo ha, like I'm supposed
Yeah,
to be a celebrant of
I
that.
know. Yeah, I hear you on that.
Right. Okay.
But
Yet
I'm
again,
just painting the picture of a time in division of racism. We're not fully removed from it. It wasn't really that long ago. People like Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, all these people were in their 20s, I think, around that time.
Yeah,
In their
or teenagers
20s
possibly.
or teenagers, something like that.
our teenagers. So, a time where Black people were thriving in America, successful music was popping in the Black community. Little Richard, The Temptation, Motown. We're talking about this era, right? Are
Yeah,
we are forgetting the era where Black people were? I think the numbers is around 70% marriage rated, staying in homes.
That's not a
High
yeah.
grad
That
high graduation rate in the black community.
hmm but again, we're trying to go back into a point of time when it wasn't great. Like the air that was being breathed around that time was very thin.
I think you're in the wrong era.
No, what I'm
Here,
saying
hold
is
on.
we're trying to paint something new, right? We're not trying to relive these times. I'm not saying to relive those times.
Okay, we're not
I'm
trying to
saying
relive those
that
times.
I'm saying that
Is
we're trying to paint something new, and you just got to give it some time to
is it
get to.
possible in 2026 and 2027 moving forward to relive any time like that?
I
Here,
wouldn't want to.
hold on. Is your point that the abolishment of like shit like segregation or moving on from times like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the reason why shit like marriage rates are low in the black community and the degradation of the black community?
The more freedom you gave blacks, the worse that we are becoming in society.
Well,
That's
hold
what he's
on.
saying. He said
It
that's what he's saying. Yeah.
so it wasn't in the 70s and 80s the crack epidemic that led to the degradation of the black community.
No, it was us tearing each other down. You not. I'm not finna sit up here and blame a drug that ran through the 80s, early 90s, until three black ladies in California came up with the three strike rule and sent it into Congress, and Congress legislated into what you call it, and then Joe Biden and all these people tagged it, and then it finally got into office. Whenever Bill Clinton came around, no, I'm not going. No, no, no. Because when you look at the numbers, when you look at statistics, when you look at the actual facts that are very hurtful for black folks to look at, it don't add up. Make it make sense. Nobody's today has lived nowhere comparison to the 40s, 30s, 20s, and teens, and then the 1800s, because 1890s. More of what he's alluding to, where it was hard for a black man to do anything, spit on, called worse than a horse. As my favorite slogan in Django says, shut down like a dirty dog in the street. I'm not missing a point. Y'all missing an error. Y'all
No,
missing a
what I'm saying is I'm not. What I'm saying is give it some time for these people that are leading to come up with some of these policies that can help um you know make black people comfortable in America, because that's what it's all about. It's not about anything else. It's about trying to
That
make them
sounds
comfortable.
personal. That sounds selfish.
How is that personal or selfish? That's like saying like, yo, if your kid fall down and scrape their knee, to not give them a band-aid. Oh, just get up, brush it off, and just keep running. No, give them a band-aid, put some neosporin on it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Clean it up.
who gave you a band-aid? Section 8.
No, that's a bro. That section. No, no, no. Don't say Section 8's a band-aid. No, 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 no.
Welfare, food stamps. I'm
Not a
listen here.
band-aid, bro. Not a
Those,
band-aid.
sir.
That's not a band-aid, bro.
That is a
That does
okay.
that did more separation within inside of the home than good.
So okay, it's not a band-aid, so it's alcohol, huh? The
No, it's
alcohol that
not.
you put on the wound.
It's not. No, it's something that they can celebrate and say, "Yo, listen, we got our freedom, and they feel like they got their freedom. Like, yo." They did they big one. You know what I'm saying? They did it for us. That's what I'm saying. They don't have that. They
So
just
right
like they're like they just like okay, the beating's over. Now you can live. Oh, I can live now. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and live. You sure? Oh, now I can't. It's hard for me to look at who was just whooping on me, raping my wife, and doing all these types of things to look at them as an equal now. Come on, man. And then move forward, and
nobody
then fast
nobody was
forward.
alive
Hold
living at
on,
that time, sir.
and then fast forward to not being able to share restrooms, not being able to drink from the same fountains, not having the same amount of access to resources like school and things of this nature. And you want me to feel free now? Now I'm free? Come on. Give them some time to heal and actually give them some medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like to help
We
aid
gave
them.
you
To let
weed.
No, brother, no, man. They need a point in history where they can look
We
back
gave you
and
weed.
say they
We
need a
gave you
point that
weed. We gave
no,
you Hennessy. We gave you barbecue sauce. We gave
What
you
the fuck?
picnics.
yes, brother. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Chitlins, pig feet, pig ears, all that. Yeah.
uh,
But at the end of the day, they need a day to celebrate and eat all that food on so they can feel good.
Okay, now we got diabetes, fat no beast,
Oh
black
my
and
God. Now you want
lazy,
to take it
don't
there.
want to vote.
I mean, yeah, think about it, bro. I mean, think about it. If you if you starve somebody, right? And now you tell them that they free and they can eat whatever they want. It's like a person just coming home from jail. Like they could probably gonna go crazy and pick out on a lot of food. Or some may not even have the taste buds to want to eat no food because they like, man, this don't even feel. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that there's different reactions to different people for different situations. Everybody don't react the same. So we got
True.
to look out for some people that have not reacted in a good way to what um America's tried to do to make them feel free. And to be honest, they really haven't done anything for those people.
Okay, so we can we can advise to put a little care package together for those who still are victimized, who has went through trauma and victimization in America. Only for those. You little young ones, 35 and under. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold on. Let me put me in this too. 43 and under.
Oh my God.
I want to make sure. Let me put myself 43. So I'm in it too. And under, we need to shut the fuck up and get to work.
I would say I would probably say more so for the black families, right? I mean, if for the black families, help them out. The ones that got kids, you know, grandkids, whatever, help them out.
Um,
Even some of the ones that don't. I mean, there's some people that
listen
didn't.
here. Listen here.
But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with the policies and all that stuff. I don't know.
And see, that's ding, ding, ding again.
But I do know what's right and I know what's wrong. And how America's treated them, it's not right. However you want
America.
to form
So,
this policy
so
for who.
America should have kept us in slaves, right? They should have kept us in chains. They should have kept us um, under their thumb, calling us the N word, spitting on us, telling us where to go, because that was the only time that we had a high success rate in America. You really need to watch how you phrase
whoa,
things
hold on.
because
Can
What
I?
are we
no, no, no,
measuring
no,
that
no, no,
by?
no, 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 CEO. Let him get himself up out of this one if he may, and then I will let you.
Okay. Can someone at least give an apology? Where's the apology? No one has even done that. You know, America hasn't given these, you know what I'm saying, them an apology, nor, you know what I'm saying, nor something that go with that apology. They just said, well, you're free now. Oh, we free? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Not, oh, yeah, you know, my bad how we treated y'all. Yo, my bad for, here,
But
take
see, yet
this.
again, this
None of
is
that.
this this is the problem I tried to make you look at when you first got on her. You're looking for the government to do something that it wasn't the government's fault or problem that people down south enslaved people.
I think that's false because there are some plantations up north as well. Now
Yet
you can
again,
use
you're
that word
talking about
majority
a
all you
time.
want. You
You're
can use
talking
that,
about a time where our government and our forefathers were putting shit together, sir.
and the pieces that they put together weren't good. So you take some
Motherfucker, it's
accountability.
free. Okay, I think. See, this is why people be like, I don't think you want to be black, and this is the point where they are correct. I don't want to be black right here, right now, because
And
we
that's the
sound like.
issue. That's the
And
issue, brother.
hold on, let me
That's the
finish.
issue right there.
Let me finish. Let me finish. It's like, damn. The reason why is for the simple fact is you don't want to take into consideration that white people once upon a time had some fucked up ass ideas. And along came some other Christian minded white folks that said, hey, that's not right. They had a fight on the land. White people. Oh my gosh, over let's free these niggas because it's not fair, it's not right. People, white folks died for the freedom of you and me to sit here and debate about, oh my God, I need a handout from Trump, a person that's racist, a sex offender, and all this shit above. But yet again, we still want a fucking handout from a person that is disgusting to America. Make it make fucking sense to me.
Here, can I point out the paradox that you're laying out? So, say there's a house on fire, right? You witness a house on fire, and the door's wide open, and there's a baby right in front of the open door that's on fire, right? And all you gotta do is run in there, grab the baby, and get out, right? And this house was set on fire by like uh an evil person, right? Do you got two options? Walk away from that house on fire and don't grab that baby, right? Don't risk getting some burns, some whatever. You don't want to get your new Gucci shirt tattered or whatever going and grabbing that baby out the burning house, right? Or you just go and grab the baby. You got that person will be looked at either two different ways. A evil person that did nothing and let that baby die in that fire, or a hero that bravely rescued that baby and got it out of the fire. We kind of are looking at the North that way, where oh, they could have just did nothing, but no, they did the common sense thing and grabbed that baby out the fire, right? That's kind of the way we're giving the North credit for ending slavery and painting all white people that way when white people also set that house on fire, you know?
Okay, you are correct. But yet again, it wasn't the same white people. I see if it was the same white people that set the house on fire, was the same white people that ran in and rescued the baby. You set the house on fire, but you let Jane's daughter in there. Damn it, go in there and get it. No, it was not. It was a whole separate white people that came along and said, "Oh my God, there's a baby in there," and they ran in there and rescued the little baby and found out they had burns and stuff and everything. But guess what? They still got criticized and punked and picked on because yet again, they would look like the white people that set the house on fire. That's what's going on today. We're still
All
pointing
right.
our finger.
Okay, I agree with you if you're talking about blaming white people in general, but if
Yeah, blaming white
we're
people in
talking,
general and not blaming America is kind of backwards, I would say.
but
Um,
if we're talking about like we can't criticize the people that set the house on fire because there were people that rescued the baby, then I think that's ridiculous. Of course, we could
Okay,
still
can we be a
criticize the
little bit
people
more
that set the house.
realistic? The people that set the house on fire are dead, right?
Yeah, but there's people that still glorify the people that set the house on fire, right?
Boy, there's still people that glorify Nazis and stuff like that, but we don't see us up here going after them.
That's true, but these people be elected and be in offices and shit. It's
When
still a problem, right?
vote, then the proper and what we need to do is write their names down. We need to get a list. Trump first. Who's next? Who's next? Huh? Let's put them all on the list and let's vote them out. Let's make sure they get out of office. Let's not look for a handout from these same people who's going to call us a N word and then change another policy later on down the road that's still going to affect us.
all right. Um, at the end of the day, um, whether you want to believe it or not, the the same people, some of the same people, I would say, that led African Americans out of slavery were the same ones who wanted, you know, wanted to discriminate against them as well. They're
That's
not.
a feeling.
I wouldn't say that's a feeling because there is actually a
That's
point in
a
history.
feeling. Okay,
There,
show me a
there's a
fact.
point.
Show me a fact.
Well, have you ever heard of Richard Allen and Richard Allen? And this is church history right here. Um, Richard Allen and I think his name starts with type
Come on,
type in.
tell the story, sir,
Go ahead.
please.
Type in who started the first African American Episcopal Church.
Uh, I was looking up Civil War facts.
Yeah, it was. I think his name was Absalom Jones or something like that. Absal or something. And Richard Allen. But the point is, they were free slaves, and the church that they were with only wanted them to come at a certain time, and they did not want them to be mixed in with the other white congregants. And it got so bad that the black congregants had to leave and start their own thing. And even when they wanted to start their own thing, they still was getting some pushback because they didn't because the owner of the I think the Methodist church did not want them to do it.
Do
So
you want
like
me to read his Wikipedia, like the first two paragraphs of his Wikipedia?
who Richard Allen?
Or Absalom Jones?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Absalom Jones was an American abolitionist and clergyman who became prominent in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Disappointed at the racial discrimination he experienced in the local Methodist church, he founded Free African Society with Richard Allen in 1787, a mutual aid society for Black Americans in the city. The Free African Society. The Free African Society included many people newly freed from slavery after the American Revolutionary War. In 1794, Jones founded the first black e-
Episcopal.
Episcopal?
Yeah.
Okay, Episcopal congregation, and in nine or 1802, he was the first African American in to be ordained as a priest in the Episcopal Church of the United States. He is listed on the Episcopal calendar of saints. He is remembered liter liter man, I am not good at reading. Liturg get Wow, I have no idea what this word is. Holy
I
shit.
just skip over that. Go to the next part. You're good.
On the date of his death, February 3rd in 1976, Books of Common Prayer as Absalom Jones, priest 1818.
But
Okay.
at the end of the day, the prime example
Sir,
of
sir,
people being newly freed, trying to be fit inside of society, and we're talking about a church right here, and they're
sir.
being
You talking about the
discriminated against.
1900? Sir, that was a bad example for you. You talked about something that was in the 1900s when
No, it
black
wasn't the
people.
19s. It clearly said 1794.
Did it say 1794? Did I hear that incorrectly?
1794.
Okay, my bad. I did hear that incorrectly.
A
So
hundred,
I
yeah.
showed.
Come on now.
My bad. I
You
heard that
good, brother?
incorrect.
You good? You good? You good?
So in 1794, which a church went out of their way to help free slaves, did they vote? Did they do
No,
anything with the Underground
this
Railroad?
was right after the um
Black
revolution. Nope.
people weren't Black people weren't allowed to vote back then.
Yeah, they weren't right
Now I'm talking
then.
about. So these people, after the fact of the slaves were slaves,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I rest my case of what I asked you earlier because you're
And
talking
what's
about somebody that did something after the fact. I asked you to name somebody that did it during.
Well, he was.
he
Correct me
was
if
a
I'm
slave
wrong.
too.
Hold on.
He was a
Correct me
slave and
if
then he got free. Go ahead. Go ahead.
correct me if I'm
Hold
wrong,
on,
but
stop,
I
stop,
think
stop,
the
stop,
picture
stop.
you're trying to
He
paint
was
is
a
that,
slave. That makes it even.
or
Yeah, he was a free slave. He ended up getting free.
I'm just saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you're trying to paint is that he was doing this after the abolishment of slavery, where he was still facing discrimination after the fact. Like, shit wasn't just sunshine and rainbows after, say, the Civil War, right?
Yeah.
And I
And it
do
still
understand that
wasn't
that is
all the
true.
way up until mid 1900s.
So yet again, what I'm saying is somebody I want to know about a person that did it during slavery in the midst of, because yet again this dude was a slaver and got freed. So yet again, um,
He got freed because his slave owner heard the gospel and, he let him loose. That's
right
how he
again.
got freed.
So
Um,
he got free.
and
If you're not
then,
listening, he
hold
got
on, hold on.
freed.
Yes, hold on. And then he went inside of a church setting, right, with other black individuals who obviously this church was okay with having black people there and not forcing them to be slaves. But they still wanted things to be separate.
Yet again, this is nobody that fought for freedom that later on after freedom turned around and switched and then did something negative?
Why do we need that?
Because that's what I asked you.
Why you asking me that?
Because yet
No,
again, the
okay.
whole
Wait.
purpose, the whole purpose of what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to literate, is the gap of people that you're trying to say that are very against black people in America are dead and gone.
That's not true.
That is 100% true, unless they're
That's
like
not
100
true.
and unless they're 110, 120 years old.
Brother, that's not true.
You're
Because would
looking at it.
you just brought up, my bad for cutting you off, Jason.
You're good.
Go ahead, Johnny.
But you just brought up how Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, all these guys were what? Teenagers around this time.
I
And
didn't
on
even,
top of that, their parents, you don't know what they may have taught them. You don't know what they parents of those parents may have taught them.
sir.
That's all I'm saying. You just don't know.
I don't know, and I will agree upon you with that. But
And I don't either.
what you're skipping over is the fact of the matter. The base, the one plus one equals two. One, white man evil. Two, white man dead.
I'm
Equal.
not saying white man. I'm
Black
saying
man free.
America. I'm not saying white man. I'm saying America, brother. I
Okay,
said
so yet again,
America has failed black people. America has not made them feel comfortable inside of the land. Period. You know, God, forget the white. Forget the white. You know, that's just a battle that they want you to get into, so that way you can
so is
have.
we not supposed to applaud all the black successful people that worked hard, that we don't know no name, that didn't try to make a big name for themselves?
No,
I'm saying,
because
fuck
it's
all the
not a
celebrities.
matter of black and white, and that's the main issue. It's a matter of African Americans not being treated right inside of America. Point blank. Period. I
And
don't
yet
care.
again,
I don't care about nothing else. That's it.
where are how are we getting treated wrong in today's society?
Well, because just because they just got their freedom, not even 100 years ago, they still haven't got not even an apology, nor a gift basket
You didn't
to
answer
make
my
them feel
question, sir.
comfortable inside of society.
Sir, you didn't even answer my question.
Go ahead. What's your question? I could have sworn I did,
Today,
but
how does America discriminate against blacks?
today,
Today.
easy. You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay. Grandparents, parents that are still alive have not gotten an apology, nor a form of gift basket to make them feel comfortable in this land. That's what they failed to do today. And if you want that cycle to end of hatred, America has to do something about it. But obviously America doesn't.
No,
Why?
because you
They
sound like
want
a
black people to feel
LBGT. You sound like
they
an
no.
LBGTQ community.
I'm not them. They want why? Because they want black people to feel uncomfortable around white people. They want black people to.
How?
It's easy. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Let them
so,
out. It's
so,
bro. It's
sir,
equivalent to
sir,
this.
sir, sir. You go outside every day and breathe this God-given air, and you trying to tell me every time you sniff this air in the facility of a white person, you feel uncomfortable?
Some don't.
I make you uncomfortable, Johnny.
Yet
No, I
again,
I'm
never
just
said
playing. I'm
me. I
just
never.
playing.
No, no, no.
I'm just playing,
I'm
bro.
speaking for those who. Amen. I'm speaking for those who don't feel comfortable, and I can understand that, and it's
and you can
okay.
understand.
America
Here,
See,
failed it. America failed. Let me
the
paint a
problem with
scenario.
the
Let me
hold
pain,
paint a
on.
the
scenario.
problem.
Can I paint a
Go ahead,
scenario?
please, because you
Okay.
don't make
So
sense.
so let's say this. Let's say let's say your
My
let's say your grandfather abused my grandmother, right? Let's say she held her down, treated her poorly,
She
and then he
abused
told her
her.
one day, "Hold on," and mind you, they live in the same house, and she
Okay.
can't go and she can't live nowhere else. But he tells her, "Hey,
Okay.
listen, you're free now to do whatever you want."
Okay.
Let's say she end up having kids. Let's say
Okay.
your granddaddy end up having kids. What do you think is going to be said through the pipeline from that grandmother to those kids? And
I
how
don't give a
comfortable, and two, how comfortable do you think that woman is to believing that what you're saying is true?
can she do it? I don't see the thing is, can she do it? Yes or no?
So you're
Let's make
telling me, so you're
simple,
telling
simple.
me,
No, you see how you don't want to answer a simple
I'm
ass
about to answer
question?
your question. I am, and I
No,
gotta ask you this
stop.
so I
No,
can
no,
get
no,
this
no.
understanding.
Stop.
I want to
Stop.
make sure you understand what you're saying. So you're telling me that if an individual was being abused by their abuser, and if their abuser says, "I'm done abusing you," they should automatically feel okay. That's what you're saying. They should
That is
feel
not
100%
that's not
comfortable.
what I'm saying because that's not your first question. Your first question was, are they free? And I rebuttal to that. I say, are they enacting on their free? Are they free? Can they actually do freedom like activities? You
Let's
didn't
say
answer
let
that.
let's say they can. Let's say they can.
So they can. So that means he's proven his point of you're being free, but you mentally don't feel free.
Thank
But
you. That's what
actually,
I'm talking about. Mentally, people don't
okay.
feel free.
So
Mentally, people don't
listen
feel
how
safe.
stupid and dumb you sound.
That doesn't sound stupid nor dumb. That's actually
Hold
sounds
on.
caring.
That
Hold
That
on.
sounds
sounds very caring,
stupid,
bro.
sir.
Wow.
You can
know
Here,
what?
Burn.
actually listen. You can actually do the freedom things. You said yes. That means you can leave. You can not come back. You can go to Switzerland. You can build your own home. You can go get help. You can go lock that person up. You can do whatever you want. And you said yes. And you said that's okay. I did that, right? So you got the freedom because you're doing it.
No,
But
I'm not
somewhere in
saying.
your little
Oh no, that's
nougat
what that.
noggin,
No, that's what you're
Here.
not understanding. I'm
Hold
not
on.
saying that they're doing it.
Can
I'm
I
saying
can I
that they
paint a
have the
picture?
ability. Go ahead.
no,
I'm
no,
saying they
Let me
got the
paint a
no,
picture.
ability
because
to.
now he's moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving it. You just misunderstand me.
No, no,
I'm
no.
saying
Hold
they
on.
have the ability to enact on it, right?
Sir,
Hold
But
that's
on.
I'm
Let
not
me
what
not.
I
paint the
asked
But
you.
picture.
That is not what I asked you. I
I
asked you,
didn't under. Well,
can
that's
they
why I was
do?
making sure. I don't. I don't.
I
Well,
asked
now
you,
I'm telling you. Well, now I'm
can
telling you, right?
oh
They
now
are. They
now
have.
see, yet again now he's changing. Now he's moved the
I'm not
goalpost.
changing nothing. I'm not changing
You're
the
moving the
goalposts. You
goalpost.
misunderstand. You misunderstood me. I
I didn't
misunderstood you.
misunderstand you at all. You
What?
wish I misunderstand you. You're hoping to God I misunderstand you, but I don't.
Well, I
What you're
misunderstood you.
misunderstanding,
So I
I get
misunderstood
told
you. So
right
now I gotta
because
make.
you
So
don't want
now
to
I'm
hear.
asking. Now I'm asking a clarifying question.
Okay,
Now I'm about to clarify it. So we
okay,
can. So they have the ability to enact on that freedom. But we're talking about a time where this individual just got the saying the green light to say, hey, go ahead and act on your freedom. You're fine. How likely is that individual who was just being abused to not only want to enact on that freedom, but even feel safe enacting on that freedom?
Or
What's the
to
mind?
say
Go ahead.
forgive the person for abusing them.
Or even
Because
forgive the person for abusing. Yeah.
I've had this here. I want to put it in this way, in the way I've looked at it. So, I have a friend, right? And he's a black guy, right? And I gave him a call and he's like, I was just watching this racist documentary and I was just thinking, fuck Jason, right? Now, here's the thing. I get that, right? Because if you're looking back in the day, right? And shit, we're looking at like the 50s, the 60s, and you're looking at depictions of black people, of what white people were making, of like the blackface, and the people would white people would depict black people as very subhuman. And for a black person to look at that and be like, well, how the fuck are white people not looking at us like that today? Because that's a crazy way to look at us, like we're not human, right? They look at us as fuck. I would pull up pictures because to think that white people looked at black people like that back then is crazy. And I had that thought when my friend had said that, right? And of course he's like, of course Jason's my homie, right? But it's like, how do you just get that out of your mind after we've abused black people, looked at them that way, and then just feel comfortable in the fact like, oh, they don't look at us like that today after like 200 years of looking at them that way and treating them that type of way, right? That's what Johnny is essentially saying.
Okay, and I get that. The emotional bearing of understanding that my ancestors had to go through some of the most horrendous, terriblest thing in probably world history. We're probably up there in some of the top 10 and some of the disgusting things that happen in America. Okay? So is this me understanding where he's coming from? Because
Yeah,
I want
and there are people still alive today. My
okay.
grandma, right? My grandma. I hate to say it, but and she's still that kind of person today. There are still people like that out there today, you know?
Okay. So, and yet again, there are people out here in today's society that still hate on race. I'm agreeing with you upon that. Okay. So this is me understanding where you guys are coming from. Understanding that that happened a long time ago was horrible. And yes, there are people today that are disgusting individuals. And yes, some of them might be in the White House. Let me just throw that on in there too. So people don't think like he doesn't. Yes, there might be people in the White House too. I'm not going to sit up here and play dumb. But yet again, this is the point where I keep having to go back to, which is common sense of ground. You have your freedom. Nobody today has gone through no type of racism, a bigotry, downgrading, put down, not getting loans, not being able to go to the banks as they was in the 20s, 30s, late 1800s, early 1800s. When I was adopted from my mother, she was working at the bank in the most richest bank in America in Missouri in the Midwest in the 80s. So when people talk to the bank, it's just like, you can't say they wasn't there because they were definitely in the banks in the 80s. That was a crack era. So I understand, but y'all want a healing package deal without telling yourself that, hey, I, as a black person, wants to heal first before I look for these people who, yet again, I'm going to iterate, we don't trust. How can I trust a thank you or a handout? How about just turn my shoulder how they've been doing us in America and get it out the mud? So therefore I don't get hurt, I don't get bothered, I don't get triggered and this long time effect don't affect the next generation on down, on down, on down, on down the road. Now, if that sounds like a bad idea, then hell shit fire, that's a bad idea. But that is equivalent to what the start needs to be started when we're talking about healing and looking for a handout from America. That handout is gonna hurt worse when you look at it. And you're gonna ask Capiche, Capiche, why would you say that? Why? Because you're gonna always feel like it ain't enough. You always gonna tell your kids to feel a certain type of way. So you're already spreading the hatred upon your next generation. Because guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna tell your kids to feel a certain type of way. Yes, sir.
I feel I see what you're saying, but I don't think that it's you're gonna just feel that because you got a handout or whatever, right? What I think it is, say we were just to do like some bare minimum shit. Hey, you're a descendant of a slave. Here's $2,000, and we'll help you out with the first time homeowners loan or something, right? Say we're to do like some bare minimum shit like that, right? And if it was just that, I feel like it would be like, okay, thank you, you know? But I feel like a bigger problem is that every time we have these conversations, there's always the most pushback with doing any sort of like, hey, sorry for what the fuck we did. There's always another side that's like, no, what the fuck did they need shit for? And it reamps the conversation of like, look, see what the fuck they're not trying to. We got this large population of people that don't care what we went through. You know, I think like I get what you're saying. I don't think that a handout is just like uh it's not realistically the solving. It's like actually having a communal like, hey, we are actually communally past that, and the
So,
problem is we're
from
not
what I'm
communally
hearing,
past
if
that.
a slave was alive today and seen what's going on today, they would not be happy of what they fought for.
I think they would because it's
Oh, oh,
progress from
stop, stop
what
right there.
we.
Stop right there. You think they would? Stop right there. Johnny, come on.
Yo,
So, if a slave
yo,
was alive today and seen today's society, would they be happy?
I don't know.
Can I give a full answer to that question?
Go ahead, because he said he didn't know. At least we got something.
I think that they would be happy in a way where, wow, we've actually made so much progress from where
Okay.
we were before. But just because we've made a ginormous amount of progress and we're almost there, just to like, hey, we are all equal, you know? There is still a large, I wouldn't say like super large amount of discrimination or anything comparatively to like even 50
Can
years
I?
ago, right?
Okay, let me say
But
this. If this can help, this I hope this helps. Africa used to be a laughing stock of Americans' jokes. Okay, Africa used to be a laughing stock of Black American jokes. Now you can't make so much as them jokes because why? Africa is a thriving continent, and those countries are starting to do better in their situation. They may not be in the best, they may not have water to everywhere, but they were doing way better than what they was doing back in the 80s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and stuff like that. They got way more resources. They got actually skyscrapers and multitude of their cities, countries. You know what I'm saying? Travels over there to Africa has went up increasingly since the early 2000s. I say all of that to say that really looking at this handout and looking at some people, yet again, I'm going to say that are dead, is not the way to heal. I think we need another kumbaya, a million man march. Remember, I said that a long time ago. I don't know who I said that on, but I know I said that on her. We need another kumbaya, another million man march to understand, like, yo, not against the government. No, come together as one nation at the capital. Plan it, let's get it together, talk about what we need to do. Not how we can destroy the white people. No, because we're not going to get nowhere. Come together. What do we need to do? There's a million of us right here, right now.
Man, I can say this. I don't think that white hatred is as big as people make it out to be. I think that
Social
most
media
black
makes it
people,
out to be very, very big.
well, yeah, social media, right?
Right.
So I think that we can all pretty much get along. It's just where there's things like racism, just fucking let it be known that shit's bad, you know? That type of shit. Remember when Charlie Kirk died and they had the white man march after Charlie Kirk died? So, like, stop killing white people or something. Like, just call that shit out. Like, hey, that shit's fucking ridiculous. You know?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's not ridiculous if you're going to have a Black Lives Matter march. What's the difference? I think we
I
need
mean,
to quit.
for
I think we need to quit trying to say that a different somebody is and what they do and how they celebrate or how they deal with whatever goes on in life is not cool because we disagree upon it and just let them do it and turn the channel. We don't like what's going on in another country. Guess what we do? We tune them out. We pay no attention to them. So here in America, when somebody says something, like for instance, the quarterback of the Giants is getting all this ridicule because of the simple fact that he went on stage and introduced the president. So what? It's blown out of proportion. These these dudes in training camp got to make press conference and special speeches about it. 2 weeks after it happened, we got the Caitlin Clark effect of trying to build a WNBA, but it's not the black women that's not doing it.
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
I mean, all of this for what? For what?
And
A
you
pay?
want to know what's crazy?
What's up?
You know, because of the trajectory of what's been going on in history, this is the residue that you get from it. From not allowing black people to heal, from not giving them any sort of care package from what happened. I don't care at what point in history you do it. Just do it. Because that was not happen, because that did not happen, this is what you're gonna get. So what do
But
you
if y'all
expect?
actually do y'all history and find out that y'all did get a care package, then what?
Yeah, and they took it away and do
Call it
that.
what
I
you
mean,
want
there's
to call
this
it.
there's a
If they
ton of
gave
history
you,
with that. Where
hey,
they where they where they where
you
they
want
said
to
that
say
they
they gave
gave
it away.
something and they
I
took
want
it
to say
away
that you
from them.
still got it. You still got it.
No,
You got it today, even better, times
no.
10.
That's what
You
you
say, no,
think. I mean, that may be for you, but I'm speaking for the people that that can't fend for themselves, that are crippled because of what has gone on throughout history, to
make that
their
make sense. How
ancestors.
somebody cripple? Listen to the
mentally.
word that you are using,
Yeah,
trying to
cripple. Yeah,
describe.
definitely. I would say it is a crippling mentality, especially when you see like the effects of it. You got them thinking that white
How?
people were made in labs and all types of stuff, all because of that, bro. All
He's
because,
got a point.
bro, all because of
What's
slavery.
the
You got people
What's the
thinking that
point?
white people came from a whole different land. They aliens. They got them thinking all types of stuff, all because of slavery. And because there was no apology, no nothing from America from what has happened. So yeah, what do you expect?
I expect that once you get your apology, you're not gonna hear it. You're gonna ignore it because you're gonna be listening to rap music and trying to look at fat asses and titty bouncing.
Johnny
Ladies
is?
and gentlemen,
Johnny
and
would
with
never.
that, I gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anytime that you are watching this. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got to continue this Friday. Friday is going down. I appreciate y'all coming through. Johnny, I appreciate you. CEO, I appreciate y'all coming through. And with that, we out. Peace.
Peace.
This motherfucker is locked.
I'm in love with